warm welcome to you all. Our guest tonight is Yovanee Veerapen. She is a dietitian nutritionist, but not a regular one. She is a non-diet dietitian, where her focus is mostly on well-being instead of weight. During this episode, Yovanee will share with us more about her role as a non-diet dietitian and the importance of having a good nutrition in our day-to-day life. Yovanee, thank you so much for joining us in the studio of the MBC.
It's my pleasure, Koyal.
Yovanee, most of us do know what healthy eating is all about. Less fried food, less sugar, more vegetables, more fruits. But when it comes to having a good nutrition, however, too many of us don't know the full details of its benefits and how to go about achieving it. Share with us, how can we achieve a good nutrition in our meal?
Well, it's true. You mentioned it already. Whenever we are talking of good nutrition, often we kind of relate it to oilless or sugar-free, low-fat or low-calorie food, when it is not basically the case. When we are talking of good nutrition, it is basically focusing on food that will nourish the body so that we can perform and function at our optimum level. So because as a human being, we should always remember, it is not just the physical appearance, you see, because inside our body, we got the different organs, the heart, the kidneys, the liver, the organ, they are functioning non-stop. They don't have the right to stop functioning, okay? So for them to be able to function, so they need energy. They need energy, they need nutrients, and we have to eat properly to ensure that we are giving them sufficient nutrients to be able to perform, to function. So overall, good nutrition, it is not just about going for low fat and all the kind of, sugar-free stuff, but it is basically understanding the needs of your body and try to adapt accordingly.
And a lot of us mistakenly associate weight loss with fat diets. But eating a nutritious meal is really the best way about to maintain a healthy weight and also provide our body with necessary nutrients for a proper body function. How does a good nutrition help for weight management?
Well, when you're eating well, you are definitely making sure that you are giving your body the essential nutrients that it needs to be able to function properly. And in so doing, you will be able to have the energy required to do more exercises, you see? Because oftentimes when we are not eating well, so we are kind of running on a low battery every time. So whenever we are doing our basic works, we are already tired and we don't feel like having the energy to go and exercise, to go and do jogging and things like that. And I understand people, you see, it's quite normal because they feel low in energy and they really can't push for more. But when you eat well, you are having a proper meal in the morning, you are having a proper lunch during the day, and if ever you are hungry, like around 4 p.m., you are having like a healthy snacking, definitely around 6 p.m., if you have to go out for exercising, Koyal, I'm sure you'll say, yes, I feel like, full of energy to do it. So eating well, it will definitely help you lose weight. When we are doing fat diets or any kind of, restrictive dieting, what happens is that we are not providing the required nutrients to our body and it becomes difficult for us to exercise. Yeah.
We should change our goal, then we should focus more on our well-being instead on achieving a specific weight.
Definitely, because for all those who know me, who follow me, you will know that for me, basically weight is just a number. Weight does not define health. It's true that whenever we go out or we are suffering from a particular problems we are having, like let us say leg pain, knee pain, every time we tend to ask people, you need to lose weight, you need to lose weight. But I think it's high time now that we kind of sit and think about it again. It is not always about the weight. Maybe there are other issues around that's causing the problem, because you can have someone who is thin, but still the person is suffering from diabetes, cardiovascular problems, or high cholesterol level and things like that. And on the other side, you can have someone who is chubby, but still the person is well, the person is happy, the person is not stressed, he or she is eating well, and leading a happy life. I personally, if I have to choose whether to be thin or to be chubby, I will choose chubby with, additional energy and being happier instead of being thin and sad. And I would love to add also, oftentimes we tend to go with all the, all the promotion, marketing, adverts, and oftentimes we get to see all people who are thin or well built in terms of muscles, but this is not the
Real.
reality all
It's
the
not
time.
real, exactly.
We have people, this is basically their job because they have to train every day, they have to make sure that their stomach is really flat and things like that because they need to fit in a particular dress or whatever kind of stuff just to be able, to do kind of promotion. But in our everyday life, it is not the real things, So yeah, weight is just a number, and weight is not equal to health. Health is much more than weight.
So the essence is to embrace your own skill and be healthy.
Definitely. I always say we should stop body shaming, and we should try to dig deeper. For example, if we have someone who is a bit chubby, or if we notice that someone has been putting on weight a bit too much over the past few months or past few years, then maybe we need to kind of sit and talk with that person, get to know what's happening, what's behind that weight gain or weight loss, then we can help. We should not just ask, oh, you need to lose weight, so you should review your eating habits, you should eat less, you should do dieting and things like that. This can be dangerous.
Yovanee, you are a non-diet dietitian. Explain to us the purpose of a non-diet dietitian and how is it different from a traditional one?
Well, I love this question, Koyal. Yes, I'm a non-diet dietitian, and it's basically because I love eating. I'm a dietitian nutritionist. I love eating, and I will eat my favorite chocolate, and I will never feel guilty after eating my favorite chocolate or cakes or any kind of foods. And oftentimes whenever I go out for an event or wedding, any ceremony where you have food, people will tend to look at what I'm gonna eat because it's like she's a dietitian, so she will not eat the cakes, she will not have the sweet drinks, she will not have this or that. But then I kind of say, well, it's not like this because I'm a human after all. And when we are talking about good nutrition, it doesn't mean that you don't have the right to eat the food that you love, because eating, it should be a pleasurable experience, it should be fun, we have to keep it simple, keep it flexible, and yeah, it is just wow. So I always take the example on myself because I never did any kind of strict diet in my life. It's always like focusing on nourishing food, and from time to time I will allow myself to have my favorite chocolate or stuff like this. And yeah, I am okay so far, so why not try to communicate the same thing to others? Because why should you restrict yourself from eating your favorite cakes? Like, just think about it, Koyel. If you go out, there is a birthday party, but just because you are doing dieting, just because someone told you that you need to lose weight, so you will just look at the cake even though you really want to eat it, but you'll say, no, I can't because I am on a diet. This is not human, you see. So we should find a way to help people, like, it's all a question about the quality, the quantity, and the frequency of consumption. And when you give yourself the permission to eat, when you know that you can eat all the things that you love, believe me, it kind of change automatically. It become more easy for you to control the quantity. You will not crave for those stuff. And when it is present, you'll see that you will eat, but you will not binge eat, like you will not
moderation.
eat in excess. Yeah, it become really easy. Yeah.
So can we say that your aim as a non-diet dietitian is to help your clients to listen to their appetite and eat what they need instead of what has been prescribed, like you try to change the mindset?
Exactly. So this is the right word, the mindset. So it is basically working with people, listening to them first, and try to accompany them on that food freedom journey, like I love calling it, so that they can establish a healthy relationship with their food. You see, they should realize that it is not that they don't have the right, but it is basically they need to focus on those foods that will nourish the body most of the time, like 80% of the time, and they do have that 20% of the time where they can have fun with the family, they can enjoy their favorite cakes, they can go out, they can eat out, you see. And in doing so, it becomes so easy, so flexible that the person will love the plan and it becomes sustainable. And this is what we are looking for. It is not just making changes for a few weeks or a few months, but whatever changes you want to make, you should always think about whether you'll be able to do it like for long term. If not, then it is not for you.
Yes.
But it is also good to highlight Koyal, because being a dietitian, we do have diet in the term, you see. So because as a dietitian, we do lots of, medical nutrition therapy, where we work with people who are suffering from specific diseases. This is where we use diet. For example, if we have someone who is suffering from renal problems, then definitely we'll kind of adapt and modify his or her eating plans based on the medical needs, you see. If someone is going for a surgery, so pre-surgery, before the surgery, if ever the doctor needs the assistance of the dietitian to modify, to control certain parameters, then yes, we have specific diet. It can apply also for post-surgery. But normally, no. So yeah, it is basically we need to keep it real, keep it simple, keep it flexible to ensure it is sustainable.
Yes, of course. And Yovanee, as a non-diet dietitian, do you believe that by focusing on wellness, on well-being instead of weight, it helps people to make better lifestyle choices?
Definitely, because when you kind of take that weight, when someone is struggling, is doing everything that he or she can to lose those extra kgs, when you kind of take that off their head, they feel lighter and they feel more confident to be able to implement like other changes that is more important instead of losing weight. Let us say, Koyal, you have someone who really want to lose weight, and that person is really struggling. He or she has been trying several kind of diets, spending lots of money, buying lots of stuff like, all those magic pills kind of. But still the person is not seeing results and the person is desperate. But when you dig deeper, when we do the nutritional assessment, you get to know that the person is so much malnourished because he or she is not eating the required amount of food, that he or she is always low in energy, he or she is not able to go out for exercise, the person is not really
There's no
motivated,
motivation,
you
yes.
see, then there is a huge problem somewhere. So then we have to forget about the weight. We just need to accompany that person, work with the person, provide all kind of, assistance to be able to boost the motivation, to make them love themselves the way they are, because for me this is really important. They should be able to look at themselves in the mirror every day, whatever the way they are seeing, and say to themselves that yes, I am beautiful, I am confident, I am powerful, and I am grateful for being able to wake up, for being able to walk, for being able to cook, because these are really important that we tend to neglect.
To appreciate yourself.
Yes, and from there on, when you appreciate yourself, then you will kind of say, okay, from now on, I'll take care of my body. I'll take care of my leg, because my legs, they are kind of allowing me to move around. I'll take care of my heart. I'll take care of my organs. I'll eat well. I'll eat more focusing on more nourishing food. I'll do my best to exercise regularly. Forget about doing the 1 hour daily. Just focus on at least doing your best to do basic 15 to 30 minutes every day if you can. And slowly you'll see it kind of build up, because when you start doing it and you feel good, you feel motivated, then definitely you want to do more. You see, if I'm doing 15 minutes exercises every day, I say, wow, it's kind of easy and I feel really good during the day. Tomorrow I'll want to do more, or week after I'll say, okay, maybe I have more time, let me do 30 minutes today. And even if I missed one day, I'll not feel guilty and
and all
kind of,
that.
oh, I messed up things. So it becomes quite realistic.
Yes. So in that sense, we can say that through non-diet nutrition, the person is on the driver's seat where they take decisions that they feel is right for their body and at the same time honor their health.
Definitely. So they become more mindful, and we normally use the term intuitive eating. That is, learn to listen to the body, because we should not forget we are all unique. So, for example, in terms of the quantity of food, the type of food that we should eat, so we don't have like the one size fits all in nutrition. Everyone is unique, and we have to tailor made the approach to each particular individual. So when they start learning, listening to the body, because the body kind of communicate to us, regularly. So when they listen to those cues, it becomes more natural and more easy for them to adapt and to maintain the plan.
What are the principles that are related to non-diet nutrition?
Well, it's basically food freedom. Yeah, so it's just like, the first one is food freedom. You have the right to eat everything, every single food that exists. If you want, yes, you can. But it's all a question of quality, quantity, and the frequency of consumption. And it's also lots of, valuing your body, listening to your body, and just being more mindful. This is a major principle of talking a non-diet approach, or
Non-diet nutrition embraces weight inclusivity then.
Definitely. And Koyo, oftentimes in my practice, people will ask me, yes, what is my ideal weight? And based on what I told you, what should my ideal weight be? But we don't have like a fixed number to give, Your ideal weight is a weight when you are feeling comfortable, you are eating well, you are doing your daily exercises, you are sleeping well, you are happy. That's your ideal weight, So you can't force people and make them believe that, yes, if you do this, you'll be able to lose 10, 20, 30 kgs. Maybe there exists there is a plan, like strict plan and things like that will help you achieve such target, but know for sure that you will gain back those weight, because it's normal whenever you are kind of doing restrictive dieting. What happens is that let us say we decide to stop eating carbs, which is quite common, so we'll not eat rice, we'll not eat bread and things like that. Definitely you lose weight because your body is not getting the energy from the carbs, so the body needs to kind of take the energy from the fat reserve and the protein. So yes, you will lose weight. You will lose weight in terms of fat mass, but also in terms of muscle mass. So whenever you are going on the weighing scale, you are checking the numbers, you'll be really happy because it's going down. But what afterwards? What will happen when, let us say after 2 to 3 months, you're really happy, you lost 10 kgs, wow, everyone is kind of saying, wow, you lose weight, wow, and so on. And then after 3 months, believe me, you will start craving for the rice, you will start craving for the bread, you will start craving for a pizza or pasta, you see. And when you start eating those food again, then the body will kind of, will tend to preserve the energy. The body will tend to limit the amount of energy that it will normally use for the daily kind of activities. Then the body will kind of, I'm not getting the right words here, but the body will tend to keep maximum energy in reserve, so that whenever there is another starvation mode again, like whenever you decide to do another kind of low carb kind of strategy, then the body will kind of take the energy from there. So in so doing, it becomes a bit counterintuitive, because you try it for a few weeks, it kind of works wonders, you get the result that you were looking for, but afterwards it will slows down your metabolism, so the body will burn the energy slower, just to be able to keep a few certain in reserve.
How can we eat more smartly then without really restricting ourselves from having sugar or a dessert from time to time?
So you just need to, you should start valuing yourself first, you should start valuing your body and be grateful, and focus on doing 3 basic things to protect you yourself. It is basically doing regular exercises, sleep well, and just focus on eating more natural food. So when we say natural or healthy, it is not equal to expensive or all kind of stuff that cost a lot. Just focus on starting to prepare more at home. For example, instead of buying let us say ready-made stuff, you can prepare it yourself at home. So yeah, you should start spending more time in the kitchen, I think.
Yovanee, a proper meal can help people about weight management, but at the same time build a greater self-confidence. Share with us the benefits of a healthy diet on our physical and mental health.
Yeah, definitely, because when we are eating well, we feel good, and this kind of boosts our confidence, because there is nothing that can do this better. Because when you are taking care of yourself, you are taking time to choose the food that you're gonna eat. You are going to buy your food yourself. You are spending more time in the kitchen to prepare your food, and all this kind of play inside the mind. Psychologically speaking, it does have a huge impact. So yes, it does boost your confidence.
A healthy diet has the ability to influence our humor. I mean, it's no secret that what we eat the first thing in the morning has the ability to influence our mood and our productivity levels throughout the day. What is your idea of a good breakfast for a happy head and heart?
So, some ideas for a good breakfast or good first meal to kickstart your day. You can have, like, for example, whole bran cereal. You can have eggs in the morning. You can have yogurt with nuts in the morning. You can have a fruit if you want. You can have also the typical Mauritian breakfast. I know very well that lots of people love their tea with the bread and butter and cheese. If you love bread, butter and cheese, you can have it, but try to limit it like once a while. Don't take it every day. But you can just swap. Instead of having white bread, you can go for more complete bread like multigrain one or the sourdough one. And instead of using the butter, maybe you can go for a light cheese, or you can use a bit of peanut butter simply, or you can have bread with egg. You can have bread with something savory like canned tuna salad. It's quite nourishing. And why not bread with a salad gâteau piment? Because this is it's
Traditional
really
Mauritian.
the traditional Mauritian stuff. So once a while, if you want to have something like this, yes, you can have. It's really like you don't have just the cereal things. We should listen to the person. There are certain people who love having the savory stuff in the morning. There are certain people who can't have dairy in the morning. So we should respect their preferences and try to find alternatives. Yes.
What really pushed you to be a non-diet dietitian?
Oh, again, because I love eating, because when I was at school, I was doing food studies. So 4 years at school, I have been cooking lots of stuff, yummy stuff, pancakes with sauces, the croissant, the pain au chocolat, pastries. And I was eating, I was enjoying it. And afterwards, when I decided to continue my study in dietetics, but I was still enjoying food. And I never had problems to complain about, the weight issue, but listening to other people. And then I say, okay, there is a problem somewhere, you see. It should not be the case, because you should be able to enjoy your favorite food. You just need to find the right approach. And if you need help, you should be able to find the right people to help you, you see. So this was basically it.
We are actually drawing towards the end of this episode, but before that, Yovanee, what is your next project now? Are you actually working on a current goal?
Yes, well, as an entrepreneur, I think it's like every time you have ideas and you're kind of, developing new ideas and developing new projects. So my main focus this year is I just launched a cookbook, which is basically putting forward the Mauritian cuisine, but with just a healthy twist. It is not a dietetics book. It is just a book, a local one, just to promote the Mauritian cuisine. And I'm also working on having a more online coaching programs just to be able to help maximum people, because alone there is only a certain amount of people that I can see in the consultation. So I'm coming with an online coaching program to be able to help people to ditch the diet mentality and assist them with all the necessary educative tools that they require to be able to embrace food freedom and eat well, and don't get carried away by all those I'll not say nonsense, but yeah, all the strict dieting, because diet just doesn't work. Yeah.
When did you actually start working on that cookbook?
Oh, this cookbook during the first lockdown.
Okay.
So this was basically an idea that came up during the first lockdown, because I was at home, so I was cooking, preparing lots of stuff, and at that time, when during lockdown we all had more time compared to before, so I was recording videos and posting on my social media, and I realized that the response was really positive. So I said, why not try to do a Mauritian cookbook, because Koyal, oftentimes when we are talking of eating healthy, let us say, for example, we say, okay, once a while you can have a soup. Immediately, for example, if I ask you, yes, Koyal, please have a soup once a week. Immediately, maybe in your head, you say, okay, I'll have to take like a pumpkin soup or something like, pureed or things like that. But as a Mauritian, we will not enjoy those kind of soup like every time, or if we have to take it every day. But locally, we can have our own kind of soup. Alim, for example, it is a Mauritian kind of soup. If you take lentils with carrots and lots of veggies, it is a soup. If you take dal, you add veggies, or like the moringa drumstick, it is a soup. So we can have lots of things, but tailor-made in the Mauritian context. And we are sure that the Mauritian population, they will be able to eat well. But if we come and ask them to go and eat stuff that is not really in our culture, they will do it for a while, but it will not be sustainable.
Yes, that's indeed very interesting. And now, any advice that you would like to share with our youngsters to encourage them to adopt a healthy lifestyle?
Well, the one advice that I would like to communicate to the youngsters, please love yourself, value your body, and whenever you want to do dietary changes, please seek professional help. Don't ever go on a strict dieting without having a professional help. Yeah. That's
Thank
really
you so
important.
much, Yovanee. It was
My
such a
pleasure.
pleasure to have you on the set of One-on-One and talk about food.
Thank you, Koyal, for giving me the opportunity, and it's always a pleasure sharing about food when it comes to me.
Dear viewers, we have now come to the end of this episode. Thank you for your time. We hope to catch you next week at the same time, same channel. Have a great evening.